Also, I didn't post anything last week, so I kind of owe them to anyway.
A double entry?
Yes.
All right.
Welcome back to Dear Teen Diary. I'm Greta. This is the guest room, and this is my guest staying in my guest room. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Darcy. I met Greta in Austin, and she followed me around ever since.
I follow her around. That's why she's in my house.
Right.
I'm going to give a reading of the very short entry.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will have you read the much better entry.
All right.
Dear Eric, because I write to fictional people that I made up. Dear Eric, Ben cut his hair. I hate it. It's really short and completely prep. I think I'm going to be able to keep my grades up. Do you know what's weird? All my fave bands and songwriters are going to be oldies in like 20 years. I love Pink.
Wait, are all these things related?
No.
Okay.
Yes. I love Pink's music.
Who doesn't?
I had so much fun at a live service, St. Andrew's Church. I had the "Yes, Lord" part of this one song stuck in my head because that was such a fun song. At that part, Katie, Krista, and Ashley S. and I all started jumping up and down. Some other people were too. Should I apologize to Chris? I'm really mad at him still, but I don't know. Gotta go. Love you, Greta. January 7th, 2002.
What an eventful day. First of all, why are you mad at Chris, and why were you thinking of apologizing to someone you're mad at?
I was mad at him because after I told him that I was going to go ahead and try to be Christian, he immediately started giving me advice on how to be a good Christian, which included, like, not being friends with all of my friends that weren't Christian.
All right, and you were considering apologizing to him?
Yeah. I just didn't. I don't like people being mad. I will occasionally apologize when things are not my fault.
All right, that's more than I would say. I mean, I don't think I would have bothered apologizing.
I was only in ninth grade. I was pretty desperate for friends.
Aww.
I was not. You know.
You have Eric and Gregory.
I have my invented friends. Who could ask for more?
Let's see here. And then you had a dancing around happy Jesus time. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think we should just continue on with this special edition double entry in celebration of Darcy's visit.
Dear Gregory, last night I chopped off all my hair. I'm not sure why, but I think it was just like a self-pity thing where you hate yourself and you just want to chop your hair, cry until morning, and leave for school 3 hours early before your parents are up. Sleep through every class and be totally isolated, especially from your friends.
Definitely. Can you just keep going?
Why? No reason at all. Just that my life is totally lacking drama. At the time when I said, like,
my life is lacking drama, I feel like now that word has a lot more connotations than it had when I wrote it.
So at the time you were using it as, like, excitement, adventure, interest, and bored.
As opposed to just, like, petty
infighting.
Yes.
So you don't think you were looking for infighting necessarily?
No. I think, like, I was thinking...
It sounds like that.
It does. Because I don't expect to have a fight with Ben. I was thinking, like, when you watch a drama.
I know. I hate me when I do this. I only got as far as cutting my hair. Thank God. Of course, Ben hates me. Well, not really. Just my hair.
He did.
I re-dyed my hair blue today. I'm sure to have some drama for a bit now. Unfortunately, it's not going to be pleasant. And even worse, I practically asked for it. I admitted to my math class I'm bisexual, and these two guys flipped.
They did.
So Melissa and I thought it'd be funny to hang all over each other at lunch because we were in perfect view of the one guy who really spazzed.
And then Melissa and I defiantly decide to mock their homophobia by making them increasingly uncomfortable in the lunchroom.
Fair. Also gets a lot of attention.
Yes, of course. Double win at the time.
Yeah, right. Why the hell do I need attention? Pat was so right when he said that. Heart, Greta, January 9th, 2002. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, wow. You were definitely a drama queen.
I was for definitely a little bit here. I think first we need to start with who is Pat. And Pat is one of Ben's friends who's in my homeroom class. And he is the one who liked to tell me every day that he was going to get Ben to dump me.
Great.
And I hated him very much.
So Pat was he like Ben's go-to best friend, childhood besties kind of thing?
So Ben had a couple friend groups. He had the guys that like wore t-shirts with like wrestling kids on them and were like really smart and dorky. And then he had this friend group that was like jockey guys. And Pat was in charge. It was like the center friend for that group that Ben was
The jockey guys. Okay.
Yes. It made me feel better if I thought there was a reason they wouldn't like me. Like if I gave them a reason.
Oh.
Like if everyone hates you because...
It's not because of you, it's because of your hair.
Yes.
I see. So you were only drama queen for a small amount of time.
I mean, in the length of life.
Okay.
I think I became a drama queen in the middle of 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
When I had... Can you have... It wasn't a psychotic break. Can you have a regular break?
I think you can have a tween break.
I had a tween break in 8th grade, and I remember the exact moment it happened. I stopped trying to fit in. I started wearing like more black and like fishnets and bright colors and like crazy bracelets, and I was like, well, if they don't like me when I'm trying to fit in, maybe I can sort of find my own identity, and they'll like, maybe people will like who that is, and even if I'm not like popular, I can like have friends. And it did feel so much more myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had made some friends. I made friends with Krista, and then through her I made friends with like those 3 kind of like strange guys. And then there was like Sarah and Amy and a girl named Jessica and a girl named Anna that were also my friends, but that don't come up as much as they should. But I totally cracked one day because in 8th grade is when I was like, I have a spine. But, you know, they say like don't act up or people will tease you more. Like they want a reaction. Mm-hmm. I became extremely reactionary as well.
So this is like the hair shaving we just went through and dyeing everything blue, and
this is just a continuation. It's an escalation of that.
Okay.
Because I can tell things are falling apart with Ben, and I'm sort of trying to be Christian to keep the few friends that I do have.
So is Ben Christian?
Yes, Ben and Katie and Krista and Chris and Britton and Jay all go to the same church. Mm-hmm. It's a very big church.
I see why you want to be part of the church.
Yes.
So like most of your friends are there.
All of them, except for Amy and Sarah, who sort of had a falling out in 9th grade that was not like no drama, no nothing, just like we didn't have many classes together. Sarah had a lot of shit going on at the time. Family drama, kind of. And I don't know what Amy was doing. I remember I got in a fight with her in art class, and I thought she hated me. And then, like, years later, I was like...
And she was like,
No, I don't remember. What are you talking about? And I was like, you and Kyle were so mean to me together.
Were always friends. God.
Yeah.
You're just being sensitive.
Yeah. Pretty much.
She's
Hi,
badass.
Amy. Hi. We were in her wedding.
We were.
Mm-hmm. But it was like...
It was during your drama phase,
it was so rough. It was like I couldn't handle myself. And I had all these very, like, dramatic impulses. Mm-hmm. And my hair was already blue. Like, my hair had been strange colors starting in 8th grade. Mm-hmm. At first it went bright red. And then in 9th grade it went blue. And it was long in blue. But I was just really, really upset. And I was just like, what am I going to do with all of this upsetness? Like, I wasn't writing bad poetry anymore.
Cut your hair. That's obviously the
Chop
solution.
off your hair and throw it away.
And then, like, run out of the house early, apparently.
Well, I didn't, though.
But you were considering it, because that's how you lash out. You should go to school early.
Yes.
You don't skip school.
No.
That wasn't a plan.
And I was like, they're being mean to me for no reason. And I was like, I'll just give them a reason.
I see. I can see that.
And then it felt less helpless, and I was less like a victim and more like an anti-hero in my head.
Ooh. That's far sexier. Greta the anti-hero.
And that's what it felt like. I became a lead character in my own story when I did that.
You are lead character material.
Oh, thank you. I was not in 6th and 7th grade. I was definitely the side character that the people come in when she's about to throw herself off the roof, and they rescue her and they solve her problems for her. And I had friends that tried to solve these problems by giving me expensive clothing to wear and trying to tell me how to have social interactions where I wasn't too hyper.
You can't box the Greta.
No, you cannot. The Greta cannot be boxed. Yes. But Things are about to get much worse now. I think this is a turning point entry where it's like, let's just dial up the shittiness. Let's just go for it.
Like, you or people around you?
It gets shittier for me. So y'all are gonna have to hear like a lot more bitching now for sure. Definitely. Because now I am admittedly, because before this no one knew that I was dating Katie.
Oh.
I was
You
closeted
have told
bisexual.
the class that you were
I was
bi.
accused of being bisexual with Melissa because we would occasionally hold hands in school.
Okay.
Or like link arms, I think.
Lots
And
of girls did that. But not
thank you.
Not all of the girls had blue crazy hair.
Yes. And so someone's like, what are you, a lesbian? You a lesbian with Melissa? And I was like, no. And they're like, yes, you are. Just admit it. I remember this. They were like, admit it. I was like, no, I'm not. They're like, admit it. I was like, except I'm not. Like, so I can't admit it. And they're like, well, like, do you like boys? And I was like, yes. And they're like, well, do you like girls? And I was like, yes. And they were like, oh my god, you are a lesbian. I was like, actually, I'm bisexual. And like 3 of the guys, like, sitting near this other guy, were just all like, oh my god, nasty, sick, you're a dyke. And so now, instead of just being called like a devil worshiper and a witch by people as I walk through the halls, I will now also be called a dyke for like the rest of my time in this school. But there were days where I would be like, I'm gonna blend in today, I'm not gonna have any drama. And then
they were like,
it would just, yes, all day, every day. So, and I would go like various lengths of time where I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. It's exhausting. I'm like emotionally drained. I just want them to like leave me alone and let me be. And then like oftentimes if I came to school and I did not look weird, then they would mock me for trying to fit in.
Obviously.
So that was no fun either.
Because they've pegged you as the weird girl.
Yes, yes. And they'd be like, oh, wait, you think you look good now? You still look like an ugly freak.
Was it always the same group?
It was a few groups. I look back and I'm just like, middle school was hell. It was like the worst. I just wanted to die. It was nothing but bad. But then 8th grade happened and like I grew a spine and a personality and like a rage against the world. And it didn't necessarily make me a better person, but it made me it gave me a little shell at least from which I could hide behind and shout at the world and shake my fist.
Okay. I'm looking forward to see how this escalates. Because that's already significantly more than I would have ever done at that age. Because it's asking to be made an intention spotlight. I never would have. So I'm curious what the fallout is going to be from all of this. Is it as bad as my tween self would have had imagined?
Perhaps. We will see. I mean, I already had the spotlight, so I might as well set myself on fire while I'm in it, right?
Sure. Why not?
Make it an
Go down a
interesting
blaze.
show.
Anti-hero out.
Yes. Well, thank you for watching Dear Teen Diary. I hope you enjoyed the double entry, and I hope you enjoyed Darcy. If you didn't, you can just unsubscribe right now. Or you can subscribe right now. If you did like her, maybe we'll get her back in like a year.
Maybe.
And we'll go back to King's Spa.
Oh my god. Yes. All right. I'll
See,
be back.
she'll be back. Anyway, last entry is going to be linked up there if you missed it. Once the next entry's up, it will be linked down there. I hope you have a fabulous day. Now I'm going to do that thing I do right after I say goodbye.